I hope you're in the mood for some cozy and fall vibes because it is a very gloomy day today. So I think it's actually the perfect day to finally tackle my mending pile. Last time I went through my mending pile was probably before I moved into this apartment. So I would say a few months ago. I'm not even sure if I remember all of the items I've got in there. So I'm gonna bring you with me. I'm gonna show you everything I've got in my pile that I need to adjust, fix, mend. So if you enjoy sewing, if you like some cozy vibes, you should totally stay tuned and watch my progress on these items. Snuggle up, grab a blanket, and hopefully you'll get some relaxation time and inspiration from these projects. Thank you so much for joining me today. Let's get started. We're actually not gonna go too far. I'm literally standing by my mending pile here. This bin here has all of the projects I'm currently working on. Let's see what I've got in there. Oh, this one I pull out from when I reorganized my closet in the last video I posted. So I wanted to see if I had enough fabric to cover the sewing machine and the serger that are just right behind you on my desk, because they're sort of on display, exposed and very visible on my desk in the middle of my bedroom. And I think this would be a super nice cover for the machines, and I might have enough at least to cover one. That should be a very easy sewing project. So obviously this one is way too large for me. It is a special gift. They only had one size, but since I am a seamstress, it was no issue for me. I was totally down to receive this gift from Ghana. I'm just gonna take in the side seams today on both sides, and this will be a very nice fit and a very nice pencil skirt. Let's take a look at this dress. It's definitely a mini dress, and my issue is that I actually don't reach for it because I don't think that it actually suits my body. I don't think this is working for me. This is really not flattering, but if I shorten it, I could definitely use a nice black, very simple tank top. I could always use another one of those. So I'm just going to transform this into a tank top. The fourth and final item in my mending pile today is this really beautiful feminine skirt that I tried on the other day at the thrift shop. I will actually share my thrift shop adventure in my next video. Make sure you subscribe so you won't miss it. As you can see, the problem with this skirt is that it is way too small for me. It was a good find. It was about $26, which for a very high quality piece like this one, the fabric is really good quality and the cut is great. It is also lined. It was not too expensive for such high quality skirt, but definitely did not fit my waist. I wasn't sure how complicated of a fix it was going to be, but as you will see later in the video, it was actually a great decision for me to buy this skirt because the fix was very easy. For the cover of my sewing machine, what I could do is simply just reuse this current cover as the template. I'm just going to take measurements here. There are two side panels. This one is 12 inches by 17 inches, and there is this band that goes all the way around and the corners are rounded, and there is a hole, and I don't know if I want to keep that. The hole is designed to use the handle, be able to still lift it, but the thing is the dust will collect if there is a hole on the very top of the machine, and if I want to move the machine, it's when I want to use the machine. So I think I'm going to ditch the hole. I'm also gonna check the measurements for the serger and sort of also use this as a base for my template for my new pattern. I am pretty sure I will have enough fabric to do both. So this is here the cover for my serger based on the template. As you can see, there are only 2 seams per side with like a T shape. So this seam and this seam, that's what I'm gonna redo here. This is gonna go here. This is gonna be sewn here. And then these two are gonna be sewn together. Hope that makes sense. I definitely was extremely conservative when it came to cutting my fabric because I want to make sure I have enough. What I like about this fabric is that it definitely has some stiffness. It will hopefully hold its shape really well. Technically it's not denim, I don't think, but it is a stiff cotton. For the second model now, let's see, I've got this rectangle and I've got this band here, this long band. So I think that's exactly what we need. Yeah, we have enough. Wonderful. We have literally just enough. It's sort of magic when that happens. First step is to press everything because it's way easier to press before the pieces are sewn together. The one annoying thing when you're mending a bunch of things is that you have to constantly change the thread, which is not my favorite activity. But this is the new color for my covers. Should I just do it with the serger? I think I'm just gonna serge it. What that means, I have to change my threads. Yeah, that's much better than the other side that I did in the wrong order. I guess starting with this side makes more sense because now I've got these 2 threads. Definitely need to pin the sides here to make sure that it's going to be the right fit. I'm not turning it inside out because I want to make sure that wherever I'm gonna pin is gonna look good on the new seam I'm gonna sew. So that's all good for the waist. And I also have to think whether or not I want to pin all the way down. And I don't think I do, because it will be nice to have some room, as this skirt doesn't have a slit in the back. So I still want to be able to open. We're looking at the inside of my skirt. Now just marking the inside with chalk here so I can turn the seam in the right direction towards the inside. And I will slope down. I think I'm just gonna sew one row of stitches with the sewing machine, make sure that it is the right fit before I go ahead and finish the seam with the serger. I just want to make sure that the scallops inside are laying flat in the right direction. So I'm just gonna compare both sides, check that it is approximately symmetrical, just because I want the slopes to be like similar on each side. I currently have this needle in my machine. I think it's appropriate. It is 100 universal needle. If I have a bigger one, I will use it. Oh, I do have 110 because it is pretty thick and there are many layers. I'm probably gonna go ahead and switch the needle for a slightly bigger one. Ready to sew. I want to make sure the edges are aligned properly. I just checked the fit. It's overall good, but here this one was not laying flat, so I'm just gonna unpick in this area, make sure that this scallop sits flat, and I am just gonna ever so slightly take in just the waist, and then I'll be able to serge. Excellent. This looks great. I will iron obviously all of the scallops so both seams are clean, nothing got caught up here on the side. Honestly, the fabric is so thick that I feel like cutting it before putting it in the serger is gonna help. I mean, there are so many layers that it'll just be easier. I'm about a 1/4 inch away from my seam. With my left hand, I'm making sure I'm not cutting anything I'm not supposed to on the other side. That will be way easier to serge. Sometimes my serger settings are a little off, so I cut the excess and I'm just gonna test out the serger here on this excess fabric with all of the layers. It's a good way. Yep, it looks good. It's a great way for me to confirm. Actually, the top thread is not tight enough. Yeah, it looks great. iron the pleats down, or the scallop details down, and the waist here is very comfortable but also nice and snug. This fabric doesn't fray, and so I just have to cut and then hem using 2 needles on my sewing machine. So the stitch is going to be stretchy. It will work really well for the hem on this stretchy fabric. I think it'd be nice to have it, so let's see. That's probably not a bad cut line, because then with the hem it's going to be like shorter around here. In my experience in that kind of very fitted stretchy fabric, you want to cut it longer than you think you do, because it'll just roll up and look shorter. So for this piece here, I'm not trying anything fancy. I'm just gonna cut a straight line here. Then I'm gonna iron the hem. Really doesn't have to be perfect at all. Around here. It would be quicker to use the rotary cutter if I still had my cutting table, but I don't, and I don't feel like installing the cutting table just for this quick cut. Definitely not my best job, but that will do. My iron is not at the highest setting. I am just gonna iron this hem. Jersey doesn't fray, so I actually don't need to serge this edge. It's not the straightest edge, so I'm gonna make sure that my 2 needles will cover the fold. Definitely gonna use this way more now. This is actually the perfect height that I wanted it. So if I tuck it in, it's also very nice, so soft. I can now wear this for the winter under my sweaters very easily, and it's the perfect under layer. The lighting is not great, but the other day, I'm gonna show you what I did here. This is the side of my skirt. The zipper is right here. So I really needed more room, and originally the skirt had a pleat here and was closing like this. So that was the original closure. The zipper again is here. In front of it, there is the opening for the pocket and this pleat. So I unpicked here only, and that's how much I got, because basically that pleat is now extended, and that's pretty much what I needed for the skirt to fit around my waist. So I'm very happy. I thought it was gonna be way more modifications, but that really was the only thing, to undo this pleat and extend the side of my skirt here. I was very lucky. I'm gonna iron this portion. It's very wrinkly and it's hard to see. I call it a pleat, but really it's the front and the back side of the pocket. So I'm gonna iron it and re-sew the edge here, and then just add a hook and eye, or maybe move the button a little bit And that should be all for this fix. My idea is to recreate maybe a little bit of a pleat, maybe like so. Now that I moved this panel, it gave me the additional space I needed. So I'm just gonna sew back along the edge here and probably hand stitch here to close this buttonhole, because I'm only gonna keep this button and attach it here. I'm gonna remove this extra button, sort of hopefully blend this hole so it's not too visible, and that will be the new side of my skirt. So I was gonna do this portion by hand, but then I got lazy and I'm tired, so wish me luck. I really hope I'm gonna catch both layers here. I really took my sweet time to pin this properly, and hopefully this will do nicely. That worked. That's really nice. Well, it went so well that I'm gonna sew the buttonhole closed with the machine as well. I'm just gonna use a zigzag stitch and again hope for the best. I actually think this is not bad at all. Not bad at all. So it sits literally here is the best option. So the button still needs to be moved really completely close to the edge around here. So like a quarter of an inch or maybe half an inch. Seems a bit extreme and a bit odd, but really it makes sense because now it should be in the perfect spot. Here we go. I can wear the skirt all fall. I mean, I love the colors. It's just so pretty. It's still a little snug, but honestly, I am now able to wear this beautiful, beautiful skirt. I am so happy with the result. This is here the back. Front, and I still have sort of a pocket on the left side here. I love the way it's cinched at the waist, and then with all of the pleats it just has a very nice volume in the skirt. Such a nice detail here. The waistband is wider here in the front and then kind of goes narrower on the sides, and that's such a feminine and beautiful detail too. Huge success for this one. And with that fourth project completed, my mending pile was done. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you subscribe. I cannot wait to see you in the next one. Bye guys!